Hello everyone, welcome back to the Ultimate Amiibo League in the losers bracket for the third tournament. I'm Like a Boss,
And I must do.
and let's get into this. First matchup, Eclipse versus Jin Kazama. Muzdu, any information?
Well, unfortunately, we have not seen these two play each other before, and because of that, we don't have much to go off of. However, if we look at total standings, we have Jin Kazama at the end of Tournament 2 in 7th place, and Eclipse in 3rd. So with that information alone, we should be able to come to the conclusion that Eclipse would win, but with no head-to-head information, it's still anyone's game.
I mean, she's a former champion winner, and he's a former beat the same champion twice kind of guy, so maybe he's the champion's bane.
That is a very good point, something extremely well worth mentioning. But the way this battle looks to start, of course, as soon as I say that, he gets some damage, but it was 63 damage to 0 in Eclipse's favor. And that's just a large, devastating amount to come right out the gate with.
Yeah, she's got to watch out because the Ryu character of Jin Kazama always faces towards his opponent. So she's never going to get behind him, which I think she really benefits from against other fighters. Sends him really deep off stage. Can he make it back? Yes. Excellent job of saving his jump recovery there. She still has the lead here, but it's still anyone's game.
Absolutely.
As a strong kick sends her out the map. He does look like he wanted to go out there. Starting to get some solid kick. Hello, Eclipse. As she meets the screen now. Did you think Jin Kazama was going to get first stock there?
I absolutely did not, but if you looked at it, he got her up and they got to similar damage relatively quickly.
Yeah.
And it is quite interesting. If we see him take a second one unmatched, it might be safe to say he is in fact the champion's bane.
What a stinking nickname if that was what he would get. Whoever wins this does go against Kraken. And that's going to be tough to fight Mr. 3-stock.
Frankly, I like Bane of Champions.
Ooh.
But
It's a nice stun on the side, or the down smash into a side smash. She hasn't really used that move enough, I think. If she could stun her opponents a little bit more often, she'd win a lot more matches.
I definitely agree with that assessment.
I mean, she's got to be sad losing to Blue, who's now fighting in the final. As that's 2 weeks in a row, or 2 times in a row in the tournaments that number 1 seed has been beaten. As a strong kick to the face and a spike that he was able to get back from. I know it always sounds disappointed when they get back from spikes, but when you see a spike, you're hype. It doesn't matter. It's always hype.
Absolutely. We see a great grab and then a knee or kick. I'm slow sometimes.
It's real life lag. They're just both playing very cautiously now, it seems. Whoa. Wow. He goes in there, gets a command input up B, takes her out.
Jin took her second stock. Oh, this has been a great fight.
Yeah, I mean,
Now,
she's starting to finally utilize those light combos and her whip a little bit more.
Absolutely. But if he doesn't do some damage to Eclipse before he loses this next life, it's back to square one.
He does get a slight advantage lead if she does take him out, and he gets a little bit more. She sends him off stage, and that
Wow.
was so good. She faked the spike with the down B and went with a back air. I think he was expecting that, so he stayed a little bit further out, and she knew she had enough to make it back to stage. She is a champion of the second tournament, so we have to remember she does know how to play.
Absolutely.
But Jin's making himself known.
Jin has come up here and he has put on a relatively well performance. Especially in this last life. We're looking at a relatively handful lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's a decent lead, but you have to remember he's got to get back his confidence after getting 3-stocked.
And
Oh my goodness,
Eclipse.
that was a beautiful spike. She faked it earlier with the second kill, but she got it this time with the down B off stage to spike him. I will say he did a much better job this round not getting 3-stocked against Kraken.
Absolutely.
But-
right you are. In
yeah.
fact, we even thought he had a chance to win this match.
Yeah, he was looked at as a strong champion Bane, but looks like he's only Balstoise's Bane. As we get into Big Boss versus Bork, Muzdu, the report.
Well, going and looking at the stats, we have Bork with the 1-0 advantage in their previous matchups.
And that was to get third place, wasn't it?
I believe it was.
Nope, not quite.
No?
But that was my bad.
We were both wrong. It happens. But when we look at the overall score, we do, of course, have Big Boss ranked higher.
Yeah.
And so is it just this one matchup that is bad for Big Boss, or was it a fluke? Or what exactly is going to happen? And will we find a pattern at the end of this fight?
Once again, some of the most cautious fighters out here. Cautious and cool, both personalities. Cautious with Big Boss, cool with Bork. Ranged fighters. They can keep the other enemy at bay, but I think for them, since they know that the other enemy's better when they're at bay or away from them, they both have to be rushed down characters, which isn't how they typically play. Adaptability is the key to this matchup. And right now it looks like Bork has that adaptability. Big Boss is going to have to self-destruct. Yep. He went for the recovery. He didn't have it. And I feel like he did that last time against Bork too.
I believe he might have.
Sorry about that, everyone. Slight mess up with some roommates, but we'll be fine. As Bork still has the lead here. Big Boss with a solid C4 kill.
C4 has been his best friend as far as taking the lives of opponents.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it has cost him 2 of his own. So it's quite interesting to see that parallel.
Yeah, it's a boomer bust kind of thing. Sometimes friendly fire occurs with it, especially for him. A nice parry.
Absolutely.
He's standing on top of his own C4. I don't recommend it. Wow.
And Bork takes Big Boss's second stock.
Yeah, starting to get into there, and that's very impressive by Bork. Let's see what else he can do as Bork's still in the lead with the stocks. They're at equal damage about as he sends Big Boss up the ranks in damage. I mean, they're both just being very cautious here.
Absolutely.
They both know they're not going to get a 3-stock. Big Boss barely making it back to stage there.
But what also is important to note, if Big Boss doesn't take another one of Bork's lives, he comes in 8th.
Oh, he does come in. Well, yeah, he would come in 8th due to the stock.
Absolutely. Due to our stock rule.
And looks like he takes his own life, not even getting stinking Bork off stage. Big Boss,
so
a fall from
interesting.
grace. Well, actually not really. Last tournament he was 7th, and now he's 8th.
So that we're beginning to see a little bit of a pattern. Does it make you think that the first placement in the first turn or the second placement in the first tournament is a fluke of itself, or is it just this increasingly bad matchup for Big Boss versus Bork?
It's just a trend that Big Boss does not want to see anymore. But Mr. 3-stock gets to go against Tourney 2 champion Eclipse here to even make it to 3rd place. And Eclipse versus Kraken, it's a close one, isn't it?
Going back and looking at that record, Eclipse actually has the lead with a 1-0 record.
Not bad.
Not at all.
It's going to be close here as Kraken's just been so good in the losers bracket. I know he hasn't really been in the fight for the championship any of these rounds, but he could be like Sir Bubble in the loser bracket, or similar to Sir Bubble in the other brackets, and just kind of go out there and win it all.
Absolutely. Because as we've seen, you don't have to win the tournament to have a high placing.
That's accurate. And especially after, well, it depends on how this matchup goes to see if Eclipse falls further in the points, but her best placement, of course, is 3rd here, and that would really help her out in the playoffs, or not the playoffs, the point system, due to Balstoise being guaranteed 1st or 2nd. As a taunt comes out from Kraken, I don't know why he does that. He knows last time against a former champion he did that. It did not end up good.
No, it did not. But honestly, that's part of why we love him. And
Ooh.
Eclipse strikes first,
Up
taking
B
Kraken's first
kill.
life.
Looks like Mr. 3-stock will not get his 3-stock here. As Eclipse just solidifies her. Oh, she's wave dashing. I guess she's feeling confident after beating out Jin Kazama in such a fashion.
Absolutely. And look, going back and rewatching that fight, that was something that was just truly great and fun to watch.
Ooh, Kraken takes a life here.
Partly because, similar to her first fight with Blue this tournament, it wasn't the ending we expected.
You can have the lead and not win it. You have to play your sinking heart out here in the Ultimate Amiibo League.
There's a reason, just like football is 4 quarters, baseball is 9 innings. You have 3 stocks, you have to play your heart out, all 3 of them, or else it will come back and bite you.
There's no best of game this, best of 3, best of 5. It's your one shot at being a champion. If you mess up once, you're not going to get first place in this tournament. And some people might call that brutal, but in the Ultimate Amiibo League, they are fighting to be that brutal. It's a fighting game, and they know what they're into. I mean, Kraken... Whoa! Eclipse saying, yeah, you know when I did that to Jin Kazama? I can do it again. It's the SpongeBob meme.
Want to see me do it again?
Want to see me do it again? And I think we do as a fan base. Eclipse with a steady 2-stock lead.
Yeah, I mean, with Spikes being arguably the most fun things to watch, I want to see it again and again. Oh, I thought we almost had a self-destruct.
Yeah, she was going right at that angle. That up B's so strong as the funny number strikes again. And Mr. 3-stock makes it back. That Inkling recovery has saved him from being spiked, I think, at least twice in his career.
It is just so exceptionally powerful.
A very strong hit off stage.
Absolutely, and they are tied with stocks now. But
we know anything's
Eclipse
possible.
has a 111% advantage over Kraken.
Well, you know, right now in her head, she's thinking about Jin Kazama making a comeback on Jin Kazama, and she's thinking about Blue making a comeback on her.
And it's also something worth noting. Very quickly, Kraken is out of paint.
Yeah, he does not manage his paint very well in these crucial situations.
And that's game.
That sends him out of here.
Wow. And so, similar to the last fight, Eclipse takes a 2-0 lead in head-to-head fights. Wow.
Yeah, so he still does get an extra point because he did 3-stock Jin Kazama. But, shoot, she's going to fight for 3rd place here. That's really strong of her. But Sir Bubble versus Bork. The current championship leader of Sir Bubble in the points versus Bork, who did finish 3rd last tournament. This is going to be a really tight matchup. At Battlefield, nonetheless. I don't know who to bet on.
I want to point out something interesting about the last match. In the first round, we had Kraken fight Jin Kazama and win with 3 stocks. Whereas we had Eclipse fight in the first round of loser's bracket against Jin Kazama and barely win. And then come out with another performance and beat Kraken, who had previously won by 3 stocks. And as I've been saying this entire season.
Whoa! First off, let's talk about how good Sir Bubble's stock was there. Great combos, up airs him off stage. Back to you, must do.
That was a great quick kill. But as I've been saying this entire time, it doesn't matter about the numbers, because when you look at the numbers, Kraken should have beat Eclipse based on how well they both performed against Jin Kazama. But that is why we play the games. That's why we fight the matches. It's truly remarkable to see how some matchups benefit others compared to other matchups.
Yeah, it's crazy to see how Bork takes a stock, but he has 70%. That's a ton. No 3 stocks here, but Bork said, yeah, I know I finished 3rd last tournament. I want to keep that up. I'm not going to be relegated back down to 7th anymore. I'm a strong fighter, and Sir Bubble's trying to just keep his lead as he knows Balstoyce might take the lead from fighting in the 1st place matchup against Blue.
Absolutely. And it's interesting to see how they keep changing and why they keep changing. But we had a great grab coming out of Sir Bubble right there.
Bork going really deep off stage. Whew. A sigh of relief from all the Bork fans out there. I think that Bork is one of the more adaptable fighters, though, because when he had to adapt to fighting Big Boss, when they both typically play ranged fighting style zoners, Sir Bubble takes a stock there, he knew how to rush down better than Big Boss did.
Absolutely.
And I think that Sir Bubble's adaptability between 3 different characters does cause him to have to rethink who's he fighting. Does he have to keep Charizard at bay? Does he need to go up and attack Squirtle? It's something that he's learning very quickly.
And he's doing a very good job of it.
Yeah, 92 damage with Sir Bubble right now. Bork can zone him out basically to die here. He just has to stop getting hit. And I know it's easier said than done, but he's got to get an early kill here. The Flare Blitz goes past the can. Write that down, because I didn't know that was a thing.
Nor did I. And he's going for the kill, and he gets
went
it
off stage
with
too.
a 2-stock victory.
That gives Bork 6th place, because at least Kraken did bring Eclipse down to only 1 stock.
Absolutely.
So Bork in 6th, Eclipse guaranteed 5th, and now we get Sir Bubble versus Eclipse. That's crazy. I meant to say Kraken instead of Eclipse for the 5th place. That's my bad.
Wow. So we get to go and see the 3rd and 4th place matchup next with Sir Bubble and Eclipse.
They're just a point off in the championships, too.
Absolutely. Going into this tournament, Sir Bubble had 12 points and Eclipse had 11. So this right here could go and change and determine
who's fighting for 2nd, that is, because
Absolutely.
Blastoise is guaranteed more points than these 2 fighters, unless there's a 3-stock here.
And we have Sir Bubble jump out to an early lead, but a great projectile from Eclipse.
Yeah, starting to keep Squirtle at bay and not being able to finish the combo that he always keeps on starting. He's going to have to stop it every 2 steps. But I think he says, I'll take that. I don't care. I can restart this combo 4 times in a row and I'll rack up that 70 damage on you. Takes her off stage. She can't recover.
No, she can't. That's a quick 30-second victory.
And that's a 19 damage.
Minimal damage.
And he's only been Squirtle so far. A footstool! Oh, he saved her because he had to recover himself. But Sir Bubble with a dominant performance so far. He might not have won a tournament like Eclipse has, but he knows how to maintain his points advantage.
Absolutely. Placing well in every tournament beats placing great in one.
Yeah, he's going to be on the top half of the first 3 tournaments, no matter what happens here.
This is just some fantastic playmaking and a fantastic performance by Sir Bubble as he jumps over that projectile.
I actually think Sir Bubble isn't playing for the win, but playing for the 3-stock. He's being very defensive, keeping his ground, only changing Pokemon when needed, dodging everything. He's trying to get that extra point. He saw Kraken do it, and now he wants it. His Charizard comes out now.
With one good hit from Charizard, we have a 3-1 lead with only 50% damage.
60 damage, quick switch to Squirtle. Maybe he's hoping for a combo starter. I almost think you should have stayed as Charizard as he quickly changes to Ivysaur after racking up, 40 damage?
Yeah, that was a very quick 40 damage for Eclipse.
Ooh. I did not know Ivysaur's vine went that way. She's pacing, waiting to get him.
This is quite an interesting tactic.
I have not seen that before.
Nor have I.
Maybe she's saying, look, you want to get a 3-stock, you're going to have to come down here and get me. And he said, okay.
Let's see what I can do. Let me show you what I can do.
He dodges the stun just in time. Ooh, it's going to be close. Charizard's out now. I don't know. If I'm Eclipse, I'm worried. Not only
2 to 3 hits.
Yeah.
And Eclipse can be taken off the map.
She's already got sent across stage. Oh my goodness.
And that's the game with our second 3-stock of the tournament for the 3rd place finish. Oh my goodness.
So Sir Bubble currently leading in points. gets a solid third place finish. We've had 2 3-stocks so far in this tournament alone.
We went through half the first season without a single 3-stock, and then in the third tournament we had 2. That is just truly mind-blowing.
So congratulations, we have the matchup so far. We know that Baus Toys and Blue will be fighting for first place. But other than that, Sir Bubble with a 3rd, Eclipse with 4th, Kraken with 5th, Bork with a strong 6th, Jin Kazama back to 7th, and Big Boss falling down to 8th. I'm Like a Bosk.
And I must do.
And this has been one 3-stock fantastic tournament.
Absolutely.
See us next time for the finals.